Hey, welcome to Project Beats. My name is Joven. We're going to talk about my upgrade to my mixing and mastering gear today. I have unboxed them already. I was just so excited, so I tried them for a couple of days now. So this will be just an overview of what comes with the package and my experience so far. Let's start with the Audeze. When I got the Audeze, it came with this giant box right here. This is the travel case that it comes with. I got the Creator package. Comes with a very nice carrying case. Headphone goes in here, band right there. This would go in between the ear cups. Cable just sits here. There's the key. There's two cards right here, certificate of authenticity and user guide. That is all. Very simple package. Moving on to the headphones itself. That's the headphone right there. It is very solidly built. We have this thin and lightweight band from the 2021 iteration. Logo there. Here's how it looks when you're wearing them. It's on the big side. It's also on the heavy side. But that's how it looks right there. These are very plush memory foam, genuine leather right here. It's very nice. Comes with this cable, mini XLR to 1/4 inch right there. The LCD-X has been out for a few years. It has gone through a couple of iterations. The one we have right now is a 2021 version, which is their latest update to the LCD-X. For those who don't know, Audeze needs no introduction. They're very well-known, high-quality, professional headphones. Also very well-known in the hi-fi and audiophile world. It's made in the US. Tons of great reviews out there about the LCD-X. This is a very successful headphones, and it has been used a lot by Grammy-winning engineers, both mastering engineers and mixing engineers. Fantastic sounding headphones, especially for mixing. It's great fun to listen to just for casual hi-fi listening. Audeze has two different types of reference headphones, and that would be the LCD-X. They also have the closed version, which is LCD-XC. And the one above this would be the LCD-MX4, which would be a price above and a level above detail as well. This headphone is also well known for its great representation of the low end. If you're having a hard time mixing your lows, you wouldn't find any lack of low end here. Clarity, of course, is still there. So no problems mixing on the full spectrum with this headphone. The only con about it for me is the weight. It is on the heavy side, weighing about 600 plus grams or something like that. I have gotten used to it, although the first few times I got tired quickly. But I've gotten the hang of it now, and I'm enjoying listening on it and mixing on. So I did some quick mix on it. I was very happy with that. Also, another thing, I was struggling a bit with taking off these mini XLR. But from the beginning, I was planning on replacing those cables anyway. So this will be my replacement cable, upgrade cable for that. This is from Hugo2 7N OCC pure copper, braided 4-core. It's unterminated right now. I just have to bring it in to my local guy to terminate it with all Furutech connectors. Look at that carbon Y splitter though. It looks very good. Okay, getting ahead of myself here. Okay, the connectors, if I'm honest, is not the best. A mini XLR, it's a bit flimsy, I think. If I have to nitpick, that's why I planned on changing it anyway. So moving on, you have adjustable bands right here. There's an Allen key right there. So I just locked it in place so it doesn't move anymore. Besides that, I got nothing but praises for this headphone. No clamp pressure at all. Sits comfortably on my ear. Unlike the MM500, which is the new one. They released another professional model, but I actually prefer this more. comfort level, and the sound actually. Comparing the two, I kind of like this better. I'm not sure if just the headphone or with the Hugo2, because I tried both with the Hugo2, which is the DAC that I'm getting to. But I like this better actually. So, and it's cheaper than the MM500. One above this will be the MX4, which I mentioned, is much lighter, around 400 grams, much lighter than this. Also above its class on the level of detail and sound quality. But the LCD-X is as far as my budget would go, so I would just have to deal with the weight. This is a very efficient headphone. This can be driven by literally anything, your phone, your laptop, any device that would have a headphone jack, you can power it with. But if you're using it professionally, you would want to pair it with a high quality DAC. Thus, this tiny monster right here, this is the Hugo2. The Hugo2 is a DAC and a headphone amp as well. Great thing about this can also be a DAC for your active monitor, so that's another plus. You can use it on battery for about 7 hours. Portability, which is one of the reasons why I opted for this DAC. Now, just to go quickly over what comes with the package, you get it on this box right here. This, I believe, is machined aluminum or aluminium. That's the package that it comes with. So it comes nicely packed. There you go. Chord Electronics is a UK company, made in Britain. So you would have the DAC sitting right here. I don't want to plug it out of the power right now because it takes a while to get to desktop mode. So when you're in desktop mode, this will show purple color. I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen, but this is purple right now. That means the battery isn't charging right now. So it's using the power of the wall, therefore sustaining the life of the battery inside the unit, which is great. Some people don't like it being USB, micro USB still. I think they did that to still continue to support their other products in the ecosystem, if you will, right? So I don't mind it. It works, you know, just another cable to carry, but it's not a big deal for me. Cables that are included would be here. You would have a optical cable right there. The power adapter is right there also. And it comes with a remote. So let me show you. A remote in a travel pouch, actually. Travel pouch right there. You have the remote right here. This remote works okay. It's not the most luxurious feeling remote, but it works. It's not of the same level of build quality as their unit, right? As the DAC itself. But it works, so yeah, no complaints there. I never use it though, but because this one is just sitting on my desk. But it's nice to have one. So if you need the Hugo2 to have a remote, there you go. You have one. Just to go over the buttons, you have this power button, which is also kind of like color coded depending on how you're using it. And you have this button right here, which is the crossfeed. I believe it's about increment of 3 or 5 dB, if I'm not wrong. It's very subtle, so it just opens up the cans a bit more. Personally, for headphone mixing, this is one of the two things that's non-optional for me. So that's the low, medium, high sort of thing. So low would be red, medium would be green right there. So usually I'm on green just to have that speaker-like experience, right? And then I would have the Sonnarworks at the end of my mastering chain for a little bit of EQ correction. I don't use 100%. I set it on LCD-X 2021 version. They have an update now. And then I use about 60% correction. And then this will be input. I just always have it on white, on USB mode. That's white right there. This is the filter button, which just warms up your headphone a bit. I don't ever use it. I just put it on flat. That's white. That is a bit of like a shelf, if you will, on the highs, if you are into that. Now, the volume rocker right here, just also with the color thing. Red would be 0, or no light would be 0. Red would be very low, up to about bluish white, right? White will be like stop, I think. Line level is about there. like a bluish white sort of thing. So it's a bit dark here, and it's black. I have a black unit here, so I don't know if you could see that. The Hugo2 is used by both professional engineers and audiophiles alike. Very powerful DAC designed for desktop and portability, which is mainly the reason why I opted for this DAC. It is rated by What Hi-Fi as the best DAC in 2022 for its price range. Like the Audeze, this DAC has been out for a while. This was released in 2014, and there is a trend on this headphone mixing upgrade that I went for, if you are noticing. And yes, you are correct. I went for proven and trusted units rather than new and shiny gear, you know. I opted for what the industry professionals have been using and have gained awards with. You will see a lot of reviews of the Hugo2 as well, but mostly from audiophiles and not engineers, because I feel like engineers don't really care about putting out content and doing reviews, you know. I feel like they are more busy making hit records or killer mixes, right? So we turn to audiophiles for those reviews. I know this setup is not for everyone and there are cheaper options out there, but from what I have learned so far, if you're investing in your studio and you want to do it professionally and, you know, competitively, the first thing you should be investing in is monitors. Not mics, not pre's, not outboard gears, it's monitoring. I'll try to make a list of recommendations for both DAC and headphones, specifically for mixing, based on what I've learned so far and what I've researched. If you're interested in that, do let me know in the comments. Maybe I could work on that in the future. And of course, I did not skimp out on cables, and I went ahead and bought a good quality, almost Crazyland territory, audiophile grade speakers for the Hugo2. I can take one out, so just to show you. Okay, so I have it going from the Hugo2, from the DAC, to this monitor controller, which is a must for this. I'll tell you why in a bit. And then from here to the powered speakers, right? So this is a signature cable from Infinite Cables Company in Singapore. This is custom made by Canare, specifically for them. This is a double braided shield oxygen-free copper quad conductor configuration. The cable is custom designed by Canare. For you audiophiles out there, you would know Canare is a Japanese cables company. And of course, they are all terminated on this Furotech, high quality Furotech terminals. Because, why not? RCA, all Furotechs. XLR, all Furotech. Although I'm now dreading to change these connectors to the monitor controller, because I need to switch between recording interface and this DAC for mixing and recording. So I need to get another monitor controller, which we'll get to on the future video. That gets me to one issue with the Hugo2. It doesn't have independent control over speakers and headphones out, thus the need of using an external controller. Although for my need, I would really need to get an actual monitor controller to split between recording interface and mixing DAC, basically. So I'm planning to get the baby RAM from Heritage Audio. More on that on a future video. But this one is just a simple monitor controller, passive monitor controller from Palmer. This is called the Monicon, conveniently. You have mute button right here, so that enables me to switch between headphone mixing. This would give you mute and also mono function if you need those. And you would have volume control from this. Solid build cable, just to make sure I don't have any degradation or signal loss from the DAC to the speakers. So I think it's a great way to go. I think the reason behind having all of the outputs sounding all the time is probably a compromise they had to make, because it's a very small unit. So all the outputs are sharing one board basically. I mean, not a big deal for me. I can deal with that, no problem. I'm gonna get a proper monitor controller anyway in the future. So, but having that option to switch off the speaker, turn on the headphones, you know, would have been a plus. Okay, before we get to my first impressions of the DAC and the headphones, I just like to tell you why I am investing in these setup. The reason why is I'm moving on to mixing primarily and exclusively on headphones. Two main reasons are, which I will get to in another video. One is room issues. Two is portability. Without getting into too much detail, this space is not mine. And building it up to be sounding high quality for professional mixing environment just doesn't make sense at this point. And also I'm looking at traveling more often, so there you go. By the way, this isn't a sponsored video as much as I want it to be. As you can see, Project Beats is a small YouTube channel, so I did have to pay for all of this with my own money. However, full disclosure, I did get them at a discount from Audeze and Chord Electronics. So big thanks to Chord and Audeze. So yeah, moving to headphone mixing primarily, this is about as high-end as you can go for a project home studio. Granted, there are more expensive units and there are also cheaper units, but this pair is up there, you know, with the big boys. You are able to compete, I feel like at least, and you are able to do it professionally with the situation I'm in at the moment, at least. Of course, I still dream of having my own space, you know, treated space, record and mix anytime I want. But at the moment, this would do very well. And I think this is the best move forward, at least for my situation. Again, of course, it's not for everyone. The Hugo2 also greatly improved the way my Kali in-8 sounded. In some way, I thought it had more depth to it, more clarity, and also the mid-range has a bit more focused sounding clarity to it. You know, I also tried mixing a little bit with this. I have that confidence with my EQ moves, with my reverb, with my compression and all that. That's not to say that my mixes are great, you know. I'm just saying I could get to my end goal faster with this setup. At the end of the day, it's just a tool. It's still how well you know your tools, you know, and how well you use it. But I am very excited to mix and produce records with this setup and, you know, get some mix reps on and improve on my mixes. I tried a lot of headphones extensively for about more than 2 years, I think. So compared to all the headphones that I've tried, I feel like the LCD-X is the complete package. To me, at least, it needs the least amount of EQ correction on Sonnarworks at the end of the master chain compared to other headphones. The ones that I was using before was the HD650. It was great, but it's not the same level as this. This is a whole league, you know, above that HD650. Some of the headphones that I tried in almost the same price range as this, some felt too bright, some felt too kind of like nasally and mid-rangey. And I won't name names, but some of the bigger brands out there, just headphones sounded really disappointingly poorly made. I don't know. This is the one that I like the most, at least what I can afford. This by far is the most transparent, most detailed, most resolving sounding headphones that I ever owned. So I'm really happy with this. I'm enjoying listening on it, listening with both the Hugo2 and the LCD-X. I think it's a good combination. I did some initial mix tests. I'm actually in the middle of finalizing a mix that I'm producing, so I'm excited. I'm using the LCD-X on that, and let me tell you, first couple of mixes I tried, it translated really well, very fast. So I could hear the same, you know, sound quality with different sources. I tried listening on my mix from this to an AirPods, cell phone, the Kali in-8 TVs and whatnot. The translation, oh man, it's really good. It translates really well. So yeah, I just need a bit more time to really acclimatize to the setup, get my ears really used to it. I am so looking forward to making records and mixing with this system. I'm sorry I've been looking like this the whole way. I have notes, otherwise this will be a 1-hour video. That's gonna do it for this video. Check out the links in the description if you like to check out the Hugo2 and the LCD-X. I will put them down in the description if you're interested. And see you in the next project.